In this video, I'm going to take a first look at DJI's latest drone, the Mavic Air. We're going to be talking specs, where it fits in DJI's lineup of drones, my first impressions of my very first flight with this drone today, and whether or not I think it deserves a place in your filmmaking kit. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Thanks so much for stopping by the channel today. My name's Timothy, and on this channel I focus on tech tools and tutorials to help you create the best content that you can for your YouTube channels and your productions. So hey, if you're new here, consider subscribing and joining the community. I wanted to take a quick second just to remind you that I have a brand new upload schedule right here on the channel. Every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I've got a new video going live for you. So be sure and turn on that notification bell and be sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss a video. And let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This is not a paid advertisement. DJI is not paying me to say anything about this drone. I ordered this with my own money. I actually pre-ordered it on the day of the live event. Before the live event even started, like 2 minutes before it launched, I checked the website and it went live. So I placed my order then. That was on January 23rd, and I received the drone yesterday on January 31st. So their claims on expedited shipping are coming true. You guys can order your Mavic Air and get it to your door in just a few days when you order from DJI. So let's jump into some specs and facts with the new Mavic Air. This guy, first and foremost, is just extremely portable. We all thought that the Mavic Pro was amazing. This thing is super small. It's more compact than the Mavic Pro. Actually, I have my iPhone 10 right here, and just to give you an idea of size comparison, it is very, very similar in the footprint category. Obviously, it's thicker, but yeah, it's basically the same size. So that's when on the keynote they were talking about having it just be able to be put in your pocket. Absolutely, if you got a coat pocket or something like that, this can just fit right in there. It's still a smaller footprint than the Spark because the Spark doesn't collapse its legs and arms, but just like the Mavic Pro, this one does. So right off the bat, this is by far the most portable drone that DJI has made to date. It also has a 3-axis gimbal on it. You can see here, that's one of the really neat things that separates this drone from the Spark, is the fact that it has 3-axis stabilization. And what makes it different than the Mavic is actually how it's placed here. You can see that there's actually a lot of plastic around it, so it's built into the frame, which provides a ton of protection for the camera and the gimbal. I've always not liked the fact that the Mavic gimbal and camera just kind of dangle underneath. When I crashed my Mavic, my gimbal was damaged because of how exposed it is. So it's pretty neat that they protect it right here. Also good for protection when it's in your pocket or in a bag. Another +1 on portability is the controller. Now, it doesn't have a screen like the Mavic Pro controller, but similar to the Spark controller, it does have just that solid body. But what's new on this model is that these thumbsticks actually unscrew and store underneath where your phone is usually attaches. So you can actually take those thumbsticks off when you throw your controller in your bag, and that's huge because even in my camera bag, having my Mavic Pro controller in there, the joysticks are always kind of jammed in different directions. So that's really awesome that DJI has taken attention to just this small detail on how to make it even more portable. So talking camera sensor size real quick, it actually has the same sensor size as the Spark and the Mavic Pro. So it's going to be the same sort of dynamic range that you're getting from those different models. But the only way that you can get anything greater than that right now is to go to the Phantom 4, Phantom 4 Pro, or of course the Inspire series. That's that's when you're going to get much bigger camera sensors to be able to create, you know, bigger depth of field, obviously, because the f-stops are higher on those, but just the camera sensor size gives higher quality pictures and videos as well. However, that's certainly not to discredit this Mavic Air's ability to shoot incredible footage. This guy actually shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not a huge difference from the Mavic Pro. The difference is actually in the bit rate. So without getting too technical, just know that the Mavic Pro's bit rate for writing 4K footage is actually 60 megabytes per second, and the Mavic Air is 100 megabytes per second. So that means basically the information that it can gather per second of just the color data and the saturation and all these different imaging things, it can capture a lot more of those than the Mavic Pro. So your images look better, and overall your quality and the footage looks smoother and more crisp. It can also shoot 1080 at 120 frames per second. Now guys, let's just take a second and talk about this, because this is really amazing. Up until now, you'd have to get the Phantom 4 Pro in order to get 120 frames per second, but this guy actually does it. So to have something this small in your pocket that shoots 120p, that is absolutely crazy. I love the fact that you can get that kind of slow motion, because I use 120 on my Canon 1DX Mark II all the time. That's basically almost exclusively what I film my B-roll in. It just makes everything look super cinematic when you can slow down footage. So to have that in this drone, man, I cannot wait to show you some amazing things coming up with how you can, you know, shoot just really cinematic footage using slow motion. It also has the capability of shooting panoramics at 32 megapixels, which is pretty huge. So that means if you're wanting to do these really wide panoramic shots to capture a whole landscape or something, you're going to get those at really high quality. And hey, speaking of photos, I'd love to invite you to come join me over on my Instagram at TimothySundayJR. I post pictures and videos every single day there at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also engage with everyone, so if you want to come over and drop a comment or a DM, I'm gonna get back to you for sure. I'm super active there. So come on and join me over on the Instagrams. So back to some specs real quick. I wanted to let you know that the max flight time for the Mavic Air is 21 minutes. Now, I haven't been able to actually test that out yet in real world scenarios, because my first full battery, some of it was used for just updating the firmware on the Mavic Air, which actually went really smoothly. It was an easy process, so that was really cool. But I'm going to report back to you guys later on as I continue to use this to see how the battery life does. I am super disappointed, however, that I didn't get the Fly More combo, because I really could use those extra batteries right now. I actually jumped on DJI's site today to try to order an extra battery or two, and they're already out of stock. So that kind of sucks. So I do recommend, if you're going to pick this up, you go ahead and splurge for the Fly More combo, because you won't regret having those extra batteries. What might surprise a lot of people is that the Mavic Air actually can go a few kilometers per hour faster than the Mavic Pro, clocking in at just over 68 kilometers per hour. This thing can move. Another thing that a lot of people are talking about is the fact that it actually uses Wi-Fi to connect from the remote controller to the drone itself. So far in my short amount of testing in my first flight, I didn't have any connectivity issues whatsoever, and I did go out pretty far. Obviously, always keeping that line of sight. I don't really anticipate any problems, but I know some people were concerned because of just the history of how bad Wi-Fi connections can be for drones. But I'm pretty sure DJI has probably worked it out. But again, more testing to come on that one. Right now, I haven't noticed any problems with it. The Mavic Air does add some new sensors. Now, we're used to the downward sensors and the forward-facing sensors on the Mavic Pro. However, on the Mavic Air, it does add sensors to the rear as well, which is really cool, because a lot of you guys have talked about in the comments here on YouTube being able to track yourself or do something, but the drone being in front of you, which means it's flying backwards, and obstacle avoidance while it flies backwards is huge to be able to keep it from hitting hitting a tree or something and crashing your drone. So having that at the back is really cool. I do wish, I feel like, we're maybe being held back just a little bit. They're obviously able to do full 360-degree, coverage on sensors like the Phantom 4 Pro. I just wonder, like, why don't we have side sensors on something like this? They're cramming so much tech in such a small package. I don't see why some side sensors might not have made it in there, unless it's maybe just to hold on for another upgrade. But I wish we had side sensors, because I do appreciate, being able to pan back and forth and not have to worry about, hitting against something. But nevertheless, the additional sensors on the Mavic Air are still a huge upgrade from the Mavic Pro. Now, with the new sensors comes what DJI is calling Flight Autonomy 2.0. This is actually an assist mode, and it's called APAS, which stands for Advanced Pilot Assistance System. Basically what this means is that while tracking a shot, and we're going to talk about this in some future videos, but while doing a shot like active track or something that you guys are familiar with, while executing one of those shots, you can actually let the drone fly, right? And if there's an obstacle in the way, the drone decides if it can go around it or over it and continues tracking the object. So that is really, really neat. And I'm looking forward to doing some tests on that in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for those, but that's a huge feature to be able to have the drone just kind of autonomously, fly around and map out what it needs to do to avoid obstacles and stay on point while tracking you. And one other thing that it borrows from the Spark is that it does have smart control, which is basically that gesture-based system for controlling the Mavic Air without using a controller. So you could actually, launch the Mavic Air. You can do motions with your hands in order to send it off, or take a photo of yourself, or record a video, and do all kinds of things just by using your hands and a little bit of Jedi Force. You can control this thing without a controller. So there's all the specs. Let's talk about my initial impression. I've only had one flight with this thing so far, but I wanted to jump on and make a quick video to show you guys exactly what was going on with it, to update you. Basically, my initial impression is that I'm absolutely blown away with the size of this thing. Just to be able to have so much tech packed into this little teeny tiny package. This is amazing. I am so excited to be sticking this in my backpack. It's lighter than the Mavic Pro. It's smaller. And this thing is it's just really incredible. And to have no sacrifices made as far as the camera quality goes and the gimbal smoothness, they've just taken a product that was already amazing and made it smaller, made it more compact. So I'm really, really stoked about that. The controller, I think, is amazing to have that new addition without the joysticks. That's super cool. And I thought that the joysticks felt a little smoother than what I've seen before. There was no play in the dead zone. And yeah, it just felt really good. It was very responsive to controls. I was thinking that there might even be a little bit of a lag being on a Wi-Fi connection for it, but there wasn't at all. It was really fluid, and I was impressed with how it was handling. So far, I'm also really impressed with the video quality and the stability. I'm so pumped to be able to have 120 frames per second in something like this. Like I said before, I shoot a lot of my videos in 120. A lot of the B-roll that you've seen in this video is shot at 120, and so to be able to have that in a drone and such a small package, I am really excited about what doors that might open for creativeness as we're traveling around. So the only downside that I have as of right now is that I wish the battery life was a little better, and I wish I had bought more batteries because of that. But overall right now, I'm really impressed and looking forward to using it more. So right now you can actually pick up the Mavic Air for $7.99 from DJI. I've got links in the description below if you want to go ahead and place an order from DJI.com. You can click below, and like I said, I received it in just a few short days, so that was pretty impressive. Amazon is doing pre-orders for it. They're getting their shipments in February, so I've got links for Amazon as well. And lastly, B&H Photo, if you are a loyal customer of those guys who are just amazing people over there, they are launching it as a pre-order right now for limited quantities. So once they get their stock in, they'll be shipping those out. So I'm going to leave links in the description for all of this. If you want to order direct from DJI, if you want to go for Amazon or B&H photo. All those links are down below. I do highly recommend that you pick up the Fly More combo though, because like I said, I'm regretting that I don't have those extra batteries, and it's definitely worth it to get that little bit of extra stuff for the small amount of price that you're going to pay for it. So you can get the Fly More combo for $9.99 from all of the retailers that I listed. And guys, this is just the first video on the Mavic Air. Just like I did with the Mavic Pro, I created a series of over 30 episodes that focused on every single mode, teaching all kinds of different ways to use it to make cinematic drone footage. And guess what? It's coming back for the Mavic Air. I'm going to go through everything with this little guy, talking about some cool accessories that you can get for it, different ways that you can use it. They have all new modes available with this drone, just some incredibly cool things that you can do with it that we haven't been able to do before with other drones. So I'm going to walk you through every single one of those coming up. Be sure that you're subscribed to the channel. You also want to stay tuned because I'm working on a few things behind the scenes right now, setting up possibly some coaching things, maybe some training, some courses on how to do video editing, how to be a better drone pilot, how you can use these tools to make income for yourself, and even some training on how you can do better and rank videos on YouTube. I've got all of that kind of cooking on the back burner right now, so I'm excited to be launching a lot of that stuff in the coming weeks. So again, stick around. So that's going to bring us to question of the day. Let me know in the comments down below this video. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know, is the Mavic Air the drone that you've been waiting for? Does it check enough boxes for you to pick one up or to upgrade? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope that it's been helpful to take just a first look into DJI's latest drone, the Mavic Air. And hey, if you want to check out that playlist that I was talking about with the over 30 episodes that I made on the Mavic Pro, you can watch that right here. And if you want to check out more videos from the channel, you can click over here. Be sure to turn on the post notifications so you get notified on those new videos. Guys, go create something awesome today. I hope that you have a fantastic day. I'll see you in the next video on Tuesday.